Hello, everyone, and welcome to Content Marketing Insider. I'm Roy Garcia. Thank you for joining us today. Our guest for this episode is a 20-year veteran when it comes to mindset, teaching, helping, coaching about mindsets for entrepreneurs. And the great thing is, she's been doing this for 20 years and she brought her expertise online and she's now helping different entrepreneurs. Let's welcome Colleen Kendall Ducharme. Thank you for being here today.
Hi, Roy. Thank you so much for having me.
Our topic today, which is mindset for entrepreneurs, mindset also for business people. Before we talk about the episode today, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So I do bring 20 plus years of experience. I am a single mom of two kids, and I have worked for myself in my own brick and mortar business since 2006. And I have everything from individual experience to group therapy to working with the court system and all that, and as well as helping many people over the course of that 20 years establish and start in. They've actually all still maintain their own business. So that's pretty important to me. It's always been my number one driving force is to help as many people as I can to become an entrepreneur.
A lot of entrepreneurs don't understand that it's more than just money and skill and a niche, but mindset. How important is mindset in a business, or how important is mindset for an entrepreneur?
It is the number one thing that is the most important because your head is like the most turmoil state place in the whole entire world that you'll ever visit, right? And it's something you carry around from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, sometimes even waking up in the middle of the night. So mindset, simply defined, is your frame of mind, your attitude towards things, and your disposition. That applies to everything you do in life. For instance, you have feelings of like people that are going to judge you, people going to make fun of you. So as you're creating content, that's really going to prevent you from creating content. That's your mindset. That's not your skills. That's your mindset. Skills are things that can be achieved, can be built upon, can be learned. But if you don't have the confidence in your mindset to take action, you're not going to take action. You're going to ultimately end up quitting.
So you can have all the skills, you can have all the money and all the clients that are available to you. But if your mindset is not in a good place, then that can be the biggest deterrent for you when it comes to success. So now that we understand the importance of mindset for entrepreneurs, we're going to talk about three things that entrepreneurs can actually have mindset challenges. And one of those is imposter syndrome. What is it and how will it stop someone from being very successful?
Imposter syndrome just means that you don't feel like you're worthy to be doing what you're doing. So you question the ability of people to believe what it is that you're delivering. You question, why should they listen to you? As someone who has imposter syndrome feels like they're going to tell themselves, why would someone listen to me? Like I just started 3 months ago. So the important thing about overcoming imposter syndrome is to always make sure that your message that you're delivering is from a place of where you are. So if you've only been at this for 3 months, 6 months, a year, be honest about that. Be honest about where you got the information that you're sharing and how you've applied it in your own business. That's the number one way that I have found that people really ward off imposter syndrome and not feeling like they're fake, right? Because we all want to match ourselves to the person who has 10 years experience, the beautiful content creators that do it flawlessly. But what you don't see is behind the scenes, right? You don't see behind the scenes of experience, team, support that they have and all that. So be true to where you are in your process and be true to why you're sharing it, how you're sharing it, and how you're using it. And that really is a good way to really prevent imposter syndrome from making you quit your business.
Is imposter syndrome something natural? Where does that usually begin?
So mindset begins from birth, right? So you're building and developing your mindset from birth. So your faulty belief in yourself could come from lifelong failures, so to speak. Like say, you tried out for the chess club when you're in school, right? And you never won a game. Like you're going to feel like, I don't know how to play chess. Well, you do know how to play chess. Your skill level is just not that great. So you win a game. It's the same thing with online business. Any sort of content that you put out there, if you're constantly comparing what you're doing in a vanity metric, so to speak, focusing just on the outcome, then you're losing all the actionable steps that take place to lead towards confidence, to lead towards feeling successful. So yes, it is lifelong development of your mindset, and the people that raised you, if they were negative, if they were critical, like, any sort of negativity that you receive is definitely going to be put inward. So as an adult, you're going to have those limiting beliefs, so to speak, that come with imposter syndrome.
So is it safe to say that even if they look like they've got everything figured out, that anybody can have imposter syndrome?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And fundamentally, the basic of it is you do not feel worthy to be where you are. And it comes at every single scale, every single level in business that everyone experiences, from the beginner that I've coached to the people that are already making multiple six figures that I have coached. Mindset scales, right? And everything that negatively comes along with it scales as well, unfortunately.
What would be the first step that they could take to get themselves out of the imposter syndrome pit?
So the first step that anybody can take is acknowledge what your thoughts are, write them down on a piece of paper and flip them from the negative to the positive, and truly keep going through your day, flipping that, because when you flip those negative thoughts that are coming into your head into positive, you're doing two things. One, you're acknowledging it, which allows you to change it. And two, you're changing it, which allows your brain to be rewired to think like, oh, okay, you want me to hold on to the positive stuff and not the negative stuff. So it's kind of like if you wanted to run a marathon, you're not going to put on your running shoes and go out and run. If you've been a couch potato for 10 years, you have to build up that endurance. So if you want to build up your mindset endurance, it takes daily actionable steps to break that automatic thought process that is probably negative and not serving you.
I'm sure everyone, from someone who's starting to probably at the peak of their careers or their businesses, are going through imposter syndrome. It's in every stage of everybody's life. It's one of those things that you just need a guide. You need to guide yourself, or you need a coach that can guide you. Speaking of guide, we just want to tell people repurpose.io, as we know, is very much into helping entrepreneurs getting content out there in the best way possible. And that's why we have a free guide for you. Just go and click in the description below. You're going to see there. Just visit the site and sign up. It's a free guide. We want to help you out in starting your journey in repurposing and creating new content. So go ahead and sign up for that, and that's for free. Welcome back to Content Marketing Insider, powered by repurpose.io, and I am with Colleen Ducharme, and we are talking about mindset for entrepreneurs and how powerful mindset is in someone's success. In the first part, we talked about imposter syndrome and how everybody can go through imposter syndrome regardless of the level of success that they're going through. The second one, and this is something that I've also experienced many times, is limiting beliefs. I know a lot of people have been hearing about that, limiting beliefs. Can you just tell us a little bit about what limiting beliefs are?
Yeah, absolutely. Limiting beliefs is when you tell yourself that you can't do something for reasons outside of a skill set. Say you're doing your market research and you see someone creating like beautiful short form video content. I'm not as good of a writer as them, so I can't create that beautiful written content. I'm not good at copywriting. I'm not good at technology. Those are all limiting beliefs that really tie into a fixed mindset as well, that are going to hold you back from taking that first step to doing something. Limiting beliefs are going to put like an invisible barrier, and it's really going to keep your feet cemented in place and not allow you to grow. And we all experience them across every aspect of everything in life, in particular to online business. Anyone who's an entrepreneur, it's always shifting, it's moving, it's growing, it's adapting. You have to pivot. So you have to be able to deal with those transitions and follow the market and what the market's doing, unless you have a very specific business that you're doing.
I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to this episode are like, wait, I'm going through that right now. Everybody goes through this, right? It's not just, you. And that might even be a limiting belief, right? Just to think that I'm the only one going through this. The limiting belief is a constant battle that everybody faces. And I'm sure even Colleen goes through that as well. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, absolutely.
Colleen, we're actually giving free trials for those who want to try the power of repurpose.io. Check out the link in the description below. Sign up for a free trial and see how Repurpose can do wonders for your business. Again, repurpose.io. Check out the link on the description below. We're still here with Colleen at Content Marketing Insider powered by repurpose.io. We've been talking about three things that affect the mindset of entrepreneurs. One of them is imposter syndrome. Second is limiting beliefs. But there's a third one, burnout. What is it about burnout that affects the mindset of entrepreneurs?
Burnout equals mental fatigue. And what I see in the online space, and actually what I experienced too when I first started to do things online, I was consuming, and wasn't really putting it into action. I felt like I had to know everything about what I was doing before I could actually go out and take action. So then you end up, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours in, depending on how long it goes. It's too much information. The biggest thing to avoid burnout is to spend a specific amount of time. Most people don't get into online business to work 12, 13, 16-hour days, right? And you don't need to. It doesn't mean that you can work 1-hour days. It's going to take more than that. But be very diligent about your schedule. Be very diligent about where you're giving your energy to, because that's the number one thing to reduce burnout, is to reduce consumption. And I know that's really difficult because as you're starting market research, you need to watch the course, read the books, however it is that you're learning, attend coaching, anything like that. But if you're not directly putting it into your action plan, then all you're doing is consume. And that is going to lead you to mental fatigue, which is the same as burnout. And you're going to end up getting so overwhelmed, so frustrated that you're not seeing any sort of success because you're really not doing anything. All you're doing is consuming.
Let's say, for example, someone is listening to us and they're going through, I hope not all three, but either or, imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs, or burnout. What would you tell that person?
I would tell them to find someone to work with that can maybe help them identify what it is that they're actually going through. Because if you don't have the skills to identify what it is that's really weighing down your mindset, you might not even know where to start. So it's kind of like if somebody dropped you in another country and they didn't give you a GPS and said, go find this. You're like, what? What do you mean? Like, what do I just drive around and look for it? No, when you work with someone who understands and can hear what it is that you might not necessarily be saying, then they can help you identify, like, all right, so this is what's going on. And then they can give you actionable steps to, go and then apply. So that's why I truly believe anything that you do, find a coach, find a mentor, find someone who has gone through it, find someone who's skilled in it. So if you find someone skilled to work with, and you're honest with yourself and you're going to actually use the tools and strategies that they give you, then you will find success.
We want to thank Colleen Ducharme for joining us here today. If you want to get in touch with Colleen, all the links are in the description below. If you're looking for a guide, hey, you don't have to look far. This is her. She can help you out, I'm sure. 20 years of experience. That's no joke, folks. Again, thank you so much for joining us in this episode of Content Marketing Insider powered by repurpose.io. In behalf of Colleen Ducharme, I'm Roy Garcia, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.